Okay. Well, be important. Got to be important.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. You got me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got me counting 5? I don't think he does. I don't think he does have me. Ask me. Here's me counting.
Ask him if he hears me counting to 5.
Are you hearing Jason count to 5?
Your officials for tonight's game, the umpire, JT.
No, they're not.
The linesman,
Okay.
Joe Gibson. The line judge, Kenneth McAfee.
So, Andy, are you hearing me on program, Andy?
And the referee.
This is this is program. Yep, you're just not hearing me on talkback. How far out are we? Yeah, but I mean, to his time, I'm saying.
Robertson Rams versus the Irwin Warriors. Bojangles Friday night rivals.
Almost time for football. Bojangles Friday night rivals just around the corner. Welcome in, everybody. Getting ready for Robertson and Irwin. Alongside my broadcast partner, Tom Van Hoy, Jason Patterson with you. So glad you've chosen to spend a portion of your Friday with us. And Tom, hard to believe, season, as we talked about a little bit ago, winding down. And this one, always one you circle because it's rivalry bragging rights on the line.
Yeah, close, 16 miles apart. We always talk about the rivalry aspect there. And you got one team, TC Robertson, that's playing outstanding football. They've scored at least 40 points the last 4 games. The defense has given up 26. And an Irwin team, tough schedule for both of them, non-conference, not reflective of the 2-6 record.
Irwin without some of their playmakers across the course of the season that may have made it a different year. They do have the quarterback we've watched grow up before our very eyes on our air as a 9th grader when we first saw him. Plenty of playmakers still abound. On the other side, Tom, different look for Robertson. You're used to seeing them ground and pound in recent years. They'll spread it out a little bit more this time.
Yeah, they've got some playmakers, a young sophomore quarterback. We mentioned they've been able to put a lot of points on the board. Their defense has been very good. So it's good fun to see them in action here tonight.
Some reason these teams get together, it always comes down to a score or two difference. We expect nothing less tonight. What do you see this one coming down to?
Well, as far as Irwin's concerned, they need to finish it off because they've been in games, only won 2, but they had an opportunity to win a couple of other ones. And then if you're TC Robertson, they're just do what you've done, and it's been so successful so far, and then execute everything offensively.
A couple of storied head coaches, well-traveled, a couple of programs you know well. We got them coming your way. Robertson and Irwin up next on Bojangles Friday Night Rivals.
Does he get sick a lot, or does he pass it on himself? Sick a lot or pass it on? Or the full disease?
Well, we welcome you back for tonight's Friday Night Rivals contest. Irwin taking the field. We are in the land of the Warriors. They welcome in TCR tonight. Of course, the Robertson team, you look at them record-wise, trending positively, looking to be in a position to fight for the conference crown a week from now. But this team, Tom, this Warriors team, they've been right in the thick of every contest they played. Had Asheville on the ropes a week ago, did pull the upset against Hendersonville. There have been moments in what has been an up-and-down season for the home team.
Yeah, that's not reflective, those 2 wins, of what kind of team they can be this year. You talk, they beat Hendersonville. We had them earlier this against West Henderson, and they beat them easily. So that's a good win, and they'd like to get one here tonight if they could.
Happy to have you with us in Leicester, and here it is, kicked off, and we are underway. They won the toss, elected to receive. Did the Warriors up across the 30, big seam here to the 39, right on the 14-yard line. On the return for Kadarian Brown, 23 yards on his return, sets the home team up nicely.
Opportunity,
and we get a look at the quarterback, Caden Engel. We saw him as a 9th grader on our air a couple of years ago, now working his way into those upperclassmen ranks. He's an experienced QB for the Warriors.
Yeah, 6'3", 220, you see it there, and 3-year starter, dual threat guy.
On a turn, give off right away. And going to be Tolbert who gets the initial look at it. Ground game. They'll try to stay balanced. Isn't that what Coach told you as we take a look at the offensive starters for the Warriors? Number of different weapons they can utilize.
Yeah, you saw Engel there. He just gave it to Jabari Tolbert. He's a freshman running back who's been good the last couple of weeks. Noah Howdman, Jackson Davis out on the edge, and right guard big is 6'1", 250. Brian Romero will anchor that O-line.
First touch by Tolbert, simply back to the line of scrimmage, and this team opting to go for it right away with the football is Lunsford near the sideline, and he's going to be inside Robertson territory to the 42. And you can move the chains. That's our initial pocket change laundry first down of the night. You can move the chains. You can place the home team into Robertson territory. Here's the group of Rams trying to slow this offense.
Man, have they been good. A couple of shutouts the last 2 games. Allowed just 26 points in 4 games. Defensive end, Turek Siebert. Wow, 27 tackle for losses. Couple of inside linebackers.
Here's the toss near side. Going to be in and out of the hands of Lunsford. That's incomplete on the pocket change laundry first down play. Tom, it speaks volumes. This Irwin team, they decided to take the football immediately. Speaks to what they want to do right away.
They want to prove that they can move the football against this very good TC Robertson defense we were talking about a moment ago. It's been really good.
Here's another snap to Engel. He's going to call his own number this time. It is down to the 36-yard line. So he gets about 4 or 5 of the yards needed. Here comes an important third down.
Yeah, it is. You want to continue to control the clock, keep it out of the hands of the high-scoring TC Robertson team. But a good start here, and we saw the play a moment ago. They're able to move the change. Let's see what happens here in 3rd and 4.
When you do take the football, it makes this initial drive so important to come away with something. And the southpaw QB tosses it near side, in and out of the hands of his target. Look for Jackson Davis, but it is incomplete, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, had him right there, right on the edge, a little bit low, but young man that has been good, 6'2", 175 senior with 22 catches coming in.
So the 1 first down, a pocket change laundry first down a moment ago, and now inside Robertson territory at the 36-yard line. It is a 4th down, a long 4 they face, needing the 32-yard line to move the chains. So this drive, we're going to take the football and hopefully score right away drive for Irwin hinges on this play. The southpaw rolling far side, and he's going to sling one incomplete at around the 32. And there is a flag that will have to be sorted out over around the 36-yard line. The play incomplete, unless this is something against TCR, would mean the Rams have the football. But hold everything, because there is a flag that our officials are sorting out. We can introduce you to our referee, Josh Millsaps, who's going to have the call for you. Teams look as if they're changing sides, so it's going to be inconsequential, it would seem. Here is the call against Irwin. Well, gives us a chance to walk you through our officials. Josh Millsaps, the referee. JT Grindstaff, the umpire. Joseph Gibson is the linesman. Kenneth McAbee, the line judge. The back judge is Sam Smith. Those are our officials in this one tonight. Tom, that first drive did not work out for the Warriors, and here's an initial chance for Karad Harris and company. Turn, give off, met immediately. That's going to be back to the sticks, the original line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Well, you saw Karad Harris there. QB standing at 5'8", right around 150 in his sophomore campaign.
Yeah, only the sophomore young guy really like him. The dual threat guy has carried 53 times for 389 yards. He's thrown for more than 1,009 TD.
So a guy who was a young quarterback the last time we were here, now experienced, and on the other side, a young QB, the sophomore Karad Harris will take it. He's going to go to the air for the first time. Got a man. How about this move? It's the yards after catch that will matter here. Pocket change laundry first down all the way inside the 25 and finally drugged down at around the 22-yard line. Take a look at this. And Tom, it's the work of the receiver after he comes away with the football that makes all the difference here. 44 yards later.
Yeah, just angled across, and he got that speed, and Tremaine Durant able to take it for a 15 out of the 20-yard line.
Durant for 44, and here is another pocket change laundry first down, and knocking on the door of the First Bank red zone at the 21-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground this time, and enough of those gray home jerseys to stay the progress after the give to Simpson. Here's a look at the entire starting unit for Robertson.
Yeah, running back, we saw Mooka Simpson a moment ago. Kanias Atkins is one of the wide receivers. Durant, we saw that 44-yard gain. The biggest up front is Sam McNeely, a 6'2", 280, a senior. With 4 seniors on that O-line.
Second down coming from just inside the 22-yard line. Robertson's first touch of the night after they turned aside the Irwin offense on the Warriors' opening drive. This will take it into the First Bank red zone. It's our initial First Bank red zone opportunity. as we look at the defensive alignment for Irwin, trying to rise tall in this red zone.
Yeah, anchored by the nose guard, Elijah Kolomechuk at 5'10", 225. Jaden Holder's a strong linebacker, 30 tackles the last couple of games. And free safety, Noah Howland, who goes both ways. One of 3 seniors in that secondary. They play 9 seniors on defense.
There's something. How about that? All the experience defensively for this Irwin squad. First Bank, 23 locations across Western North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina to serve you. Here's the initial First Bank red zone chance of the night. Harris rolls this way. He sees all kind of open real estate and will carry it to the end zone for a touchdown. Karad Harris puts the Rams on the board first.
Well, I tell you, he rolled, gave himself an opportunity to look downfield. Everybody turned their back right away, and he knows what to do with it as he gets his touchdown on this particular drive right there. He could dump it there if he wanted to, but he's got a blocker out in front now. Didn't even need it. Takes it in for the 6.
Ends up being a Foundation Solutions touchdown, our first of the night on the opening drive for TC. And here's the kick. Good as well. With the extra point true, a 7-0 advantage. Well, Robertson off the bus and ready to play behind the leadership of their sophomore QB, Karad Harris.
Have questions about childhood vaccines? Get real answers. Start a conversation with your child's doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov.
Well, after a 5-play, 64-yard drive that ate up just over 2 minutes of game clock, Robertson on the board quickly.
Yeah, able to put together a nice drive there. Bang it up inside. You threw the football, and then you also got the dual threat quarterback who goes 18 yards. You got to be so disciplined on defense, and you can see we had Jason White. They've scored at least 40 in the last 4 games.
7 on the board with just 1 touch of the football for the crew. Having made the trip over, happy to have you with us in Lester tonight. As it continues with the Warriors set to get the football back. Home team will have a return to around the 28, that's all. And a second crack at it for Eagle and Company. And remember, Tom, this was a scenario where they needed to play the way they did a week ago, but finish. And you're talking about how important it is to do that as one of your keys to the game.
Well, we'll start with TCR, play our game. Well, that's what they've been doing the last 4 or 5 games. Discipline on defense because the dual threat here for Irwin. Irwin needs to finish. They've lost so many tough ball games where they had opportunities, and they need to eliminate explosive plays that didn't happen first time they had it.
Well, here is a touch near side. Screenplay they hope might be explosive, but Lunsford is brought down at around the 35. That's good first down yardage. It's the kind of first down yardage you'll take all night long.
Yeah, you need that, and this is a, I think, important drive. They took the opening kickoff at a 4th and 4, didn't convert on that, turned it over, and very quickly able to score.
After the 7-yard gain on the opening play of this drive. Give off near side, but a host of white jerseys there, and the ball carrier met quickly.
I'll tell you, Nathaniel Skoldegger, we're talking about some of the guys on the defensive side, 6 feet 180, a junior. He is the leading tackler with 71 on the year, and he just steps right in there, fills it, nicely done, and got some help from 3 others coming in to help make that play.
3rd down play. Remember, had that Fourth down try on the Robertson side of the 50 where the drive ended the last time around. This one will end with a pick. That thrown a little too high and into the grasp of the Robertson D and taken all the way back far side. Let the celebration begin.
Yeah, able to pick that one off. Shantan Wynn, sophomore, had him open, just overthrew him. And we talked about special teams and talked about the defense. And right now, looking good.
48-yard pick six for Wynn. Here's another look at it. Just too tall a toss. And he would get the blocking he needed to bring it all the way home.
And showed his speed there. Very athletic. Young secondary. The coach told us he really likes these guys. They've grown up as the season's gone on.
Earned the Rams head as well. And just like that, a Foundation Solutions touchdown of the defensive variety as TC Robertson out front 13-0 in the blink of an eye. So a couple of drives going awry for the home team. And a second extra point attempt coming for the Rams. Win the name of the game tonight. And his moment already notched on a 48-yard interception return for touchdown. The kick just as true. And with 6:39 to go in the opening period, an offensive score and a defensive score as Robertson out front strong early. Couple of highlight plays you will already see as a part of the Asheville Chevy Show at the half. Roselle's going to be bringing some information your way about Asheville Chevy. Always one of the great moments of the night when the Asheville Chevy Show commences. We've got a long way to go between here and there. And so far, all the highlight moments for the Asheville Chevy Show belong to the visitors from Robertson.
I tell you what, they have looked good so far in this game. They got the stop defensively, turned it in to a touchdown run by the quarterback after a big pass play of 44 yards, and got the INT, the complimentary. The defense gets it done and takes it the distance for a touchdown, and very early on, leading 14-0.
Well, Jake Farmer has been true on a couple of extra points so far, set to put his foot into it. He's been busy in the early going here. And Farmer and company stake to a 14-0 advantage. Offensive drive, defensive touchdown on the pick six. Does Irwin have an answer? The return is up to the 29. That's about all at top. Boy, two drives that one carried you deep into your opponent's territory, ended on 4 and out. And then the last one, on which one errant throw resulted in 7 more on the board. Warriors got to shake it off quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 6:34 in the first quarter, but this becomes a very important drive for Irwin. We talked about the record's not all that good, but boy, they have played everybody tough, but they've been able to keep that touch string close to the ball game.
Quarterback under duress here, and he's just going to sell this one to get rid of it. And second down is coming. Yeah, you look back across their game. There's only the one contest this season that Irwin wasn't right there in the thick of. The Warriors have been right there. You said it, had Asheville on the ropes a week ago. Who can forget what happened against Hendersonville? But just the 2 victories as a result of being so close along the way. They got to have something here in the early going just to keep this one close with the way Robertson's playing right now.
That can wear on you a little bit too. You know, you're close. Talked about Asheville. They had the ball to 15-yard line, fumbled it late. Asheville went down and scored. You know how tough Reynolds is. We've done games on the road there. Got to be 14-10, led 10-7 at one point.
Well, the one thing you talk about on the Irwin side is making sure, as you said, to muster that energy once again. You look at it on the flip side for Robertson, challenge for them tonight, make sure they don't look beyond this one, because you've got a game next week that could very well be for the conference. You have to make sure you aren't looking ahead. So far, so good on reading the tea leaves. They seem locked in on the one in front of them this Friday.
Yeah, you got to have this one before you can get to the next one.
Yes.
The importance of it, and ACR Reynolds needs to win tonight as well to make that a big ball game.
It's going to be in the flat, up across midfield, and back into Robertson territory as Engel connects this time with Kobe Lunsford again. Lunsford has a pocket change laundry first down.
A couple of catches tonight for that young man, and you're right about TCR. When you take a look at that, what they've got ahead of them and the way things are, the classifications have changed in North Carolina. We'll get into that a little bit as the ball game goes on tonight.
QB fires one deep across the middle, tip drill, and this one's intercepted. A second pick in as many drives for Robertson, and they'll have it up at the 36-yard line after this one is snatched away again.
Lawson Banks, the tip drill, as you called it, Wynn took one for a touchdown a moment ago. That one bounces up in the air. We get one more look at it in the pocket. He's got time and gets that left arm in there and banks it up. Good play defensively, and then corrals that, and here comes TCR again.
Puts a stop on this drive. We remind you, we will select our bus stop of the game in the fourth quarter of tonight's contest. You know, when the stop sign is out, the lights are flashing, you got to bring it to a halt. And these 2 drives brought to a halt as our school bus stops of the game thus far by the Robertson defense. Interceptions by Wynn and Banks. Just like that, Robertson in a position to go up 3 scores right out of the chute, Tom.
I'll tell you, they have been so good here most recently. You know, we talked about being challenged non-conference, but they've been able to score 40 against Caldwell, Asheville, North Buncombe, and Enke. And on top of those, the last 2, 42-0, 41-0. Defense has been just as good.
Cruising right now, and look at the holes being made up front by that offensive line. That's good enough to convert on second down and short. So it's another Pocket Change Laundry first down. Remember, our friends at Pocket Change Laundry, sponsors of all of our first downs in the first and third quarter tonight. And Pocket Change Laundry, you know, it is not just a chore, but an experience in excellence when they help you handle your laundry. Check them out, Pocket Change Laundry, sponsors of our first downs tonight in this first quarter. First quarter belonging to Robertson to this juncture, and this is up the ladder, and as he tried to bring it back down, it comes out of his grasp and incomplete because of good coverage there, Tom.
Yeah, nicely done there. Coming hard was Amarian Smith at 5'9", 145. He's able to knock it out with a nice effort to make that catch. Had to climb the ladder to try to make that catch, but knocked away from behind out of the grasp of Canias Atkins.
Smith, very good coverage there. Makes it second down and 10. That ball placed right on the Irwin side of the 50-yard line. As Robertson up 2 scores continues its work. And it's going to be kept by Harris. And he's down around the 43. So Harris with good second down yardage, going to make third down manageable.
Jackson Davis makes that tackle. Another young man that goes both ways. But once you have to defend, you've got to be aware of that. And then he can pull it out, take it up the middle. We saw that young man take it wide, fake the pass, go 18 for a touchdown. So you really have to be disciplined on defense, and so many options for this team.
Yeah, as Tom told you, the 18-yard touchdown run under his belt already. The other rushing going to be done this time by his comrade in that backfield. Going to give this off to Simpson, and Lucas Simpson will move the chains. That's another Pocket Change Laundry first down for TCR.
Yeah, Noah Haldman came up 5'10", 160, senior, free safety. One of the better defensive backs, and another young man that goes both ways. They're tough to defend. I mean, and they're making the transition this year from the triple option to the spread, and boy, they're really effective running.
Very quick. as the first down plays incomplete. And you think on this, you wondered how many possessions they would really have in the first quarter of the football game because Irwin took the football. Hasn't seemed to matter. 2 quick takeaways, snuffing out drives after the turnover on downs, and Robertson having their way with things right now.
They have really grown up as the season's gone on, and Coach Dinwiddie telling us, well, one of the keys to the success has been the play of that senior-dominated offensive line.
Oh, you know the mantra, right?
Yes.
This team carries. Get into it after this long toss. Incomplete, too much air underneath it. What's been their rallying cry this season?
Climb the mountain.
Well, they're certainly doing that 1 week after the next. In the mountain they're climbing right now, a 2-score lead and looking for more. 3rd down and 10 coming here, though, as this was there for the taking, but just a little too much.
Hadn't just let it go too long that way.
That was 6 more.
Had a chance.
That had the potential for 6 more. Instead, 3rd down and 10. Let's see if Robertson can still make use of this drive following the second INT of the night. All kind of movement in that backfield and spinning forward to the 30. Going to make it 4th down and about 4.
Will Jacoby came up, helped make that play. 6 feet 165. And a senior, and man, he really struggled there for a couple of extra yards and make it somewhat manageable.
Remember, this is a series that Irwin won the last time out. The first game, by the way, back after Hurricane Helene in Western North Carolina. Then after that contest, ended up, as you said, capping off a 10-win campaign. 2 years ago when it was here, they were in it right at the half. Robertson able to keep them at arm's length in the second half of action. This one, seeing the Rams threaten to run off and hide early, but a 4th down that'll prove critical in their ability to pad what is currently a 14-point advantage when you return to Lester. Ingles for great choices from the Ingles Deli, rotisserie chicken, freshly made salads, and a delicious hot bar and sub bar. Dinner and a snap, then it's off to the game. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. 4th down as we welcome you back to John G. Kerr Stadium in Leicester. The visitors from Robertson facing a 4th down and 4. Already 2 scores on the board for the Rams tonight. There will not be another on this drive. Well read and snuffed out. How about that defensive play?
Will Jacoby, he made a play earlier, 6'5", 165 senior. Got to play a little bit last year. Came in with 46 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. That's a big tackle for loss right there to stop the momentum of TCR.
Will Jacoby coming up in some open real estate, making the play, and it will be Warriors football on top. That had the feel of a must-have-it moment for the home team if they were to hang around here. Yes, it's 2:50 to go in the first quarter, but finally something to stay the momentum of the Rams. And all kind of problems for Ingle as he'll be behind the sticks. And it looked like the ball popped out of there and is recovered by the Rams. So Robertson gets it right back after a single play.
Wow, one play, and it looks like Josiah James, a junior, came out of there. How about 3 turnovers?
Well, let's think about the drives period. A turnover on downs, an interception, and now a fumble. And Robertson back in business.
Yep.
Robertson going to be set up nicely at the 33. Looking for a deep shot on the first play, and it is into the end zone, incomplete. As Harris sailed that one, trying to reach his intended target, which was Durant.
And good coverage there by Jaquavian Allen. Goes by JQ, leading the team in tackles with 76-foot, 158 senior. Nice job there defensively. Had one-on-one coverage and overshot it.
Boy, Tom, 3 turnovers and a turnover on downs. The touches right now for the homestanding Warriors. And the Brotherhood, as they're known, a group of guys haven't hung together through what's been a tough season at times, needing to rise up defensively now, and that'll help. Right out of the hands of his target. But the body language for Harris tells you everything you need to know. He felt like he had set Atkins up to go the distance.
He did. He had him. He was right out in front. Back behind him was Marion Smith chasing and had time to throw. We talked about that line. Yeah, like to have that one back right
Tom,
in front.
It is a tough 1 out of 6 start through the air for Harris. He's had a couple of those that were right there for the taking. Now, a couple of them he sailed with a bit too much air underneath it, but that one both parties would like to have back. This is set up underneath, does complete this one, and he's going to have what he needs for a first down and then some. In fact, this is carried into the First Bank red zone on a beautiful catch. Who's that? But Dinwiddie making the catch.
And a beautiful call, too, as he sent the running back in motion, emptied the backfield, and then dumped it right over the middle.
Riddick Dinwiddie, that's the coach's son. That's the second time we've been able to say that on our air in recent years. Remember, he had the QB scenario that he coached up not that long ago, and here is able to work it into the grasp of 10. And coming this way is Harris. Still elusive, but he's finally going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. So a big sack for a Warriors team trying to slow the Robertson momentum.
Yeah, good play by Jaden Holder, their inside linebacker at 6 feet, 185, a senior. Young man who had about 30 tackles the last 2 ball games. He makes a big one there.
They were not fooled on the fake of the gift to Simpson and tracked the quarterback Harris all the way.
Got a stop last time, Jason. Need one here again.
Behind the sticks, at least for now. Second down, it's going to be 16 needed. Actually, it's going to be about 15, almost even along 15 here. Up across the 25, a little closer to the 20-yard line as the clock winds down toward 1 minute to play in the opening period. It has been all Rams. The Rams defense forcing 3, well, you could really call it 4 turnovers, a couple of interceptions, a fumble, and a turnover on downs to go with those 3 traditional turnovers. They are 2 of 2 on third down, but this one is from some distance. It's 3rd and 12 inside the final minute of the opening quarter. Harris weighing his options. You know, Tom, they're going to sort the flag out here, but it gives us the opportunity to pause for a moment and say, if Robertson can't do something with this drive, a couple of major wins for the Warriors. This false start will back the Rams up just a little bit more because that was a potential touchdown toss a moment ago. The other drive had plenty of steam into the red zone as well. I mean, on the far sideline, they're going to be thinking, man, it ought to be 28-0 right now.
Yes. Right now, you just need to get this stop and get to the end of the first quarter and keep it where it is.
That's the case if you're looking at it through the glasses on the home side. Here's the 3rd down and 17. Harris over the top, and that's caught. And the same formula that worked for the first down a moment ago works for the touchdown here.
Yeah, a little play action, throw it to the tight end over the middle. Looked like they had it jammed on the fake run. And it was Dinwiddie that got it in, as Jason called it a moment ago. 2 good catches.
Worked out for the drive to be extended. Works out for the drive to be capped with 7 more. That is Foundation Solutions touchdown toss to Dinwiddie. And here's the extra point coming to make it 21-0 after the Foundation Solutions touchdown. Nice moment of congratulations for Karad Harris there. There's a flag they got to sort out, but Tom, this gives us a chance to say, you know, tip your cap to Harris. Had a touchdown that he felt like was there on the toss earlier, stayed composed, stayed in there, and even when it was 3rd down, 4th down, getting the job done with a nice toss when it mattered.
Our first look at him, and I tell you what, he is a nice-looking young man. 5'8", 150 sophomore quarterback. They've gone to the spread this year, looking good.
That's worth underscoring. What year did you say he is?
Sophomore.
A lot of eligibility left for number 6, and he's already impressing fans in Western North Carolina. That capped a drive of 33 yards after the fumble. And everything going to be set up right where it was for the extra point. You will often see kicking teams decline it to keep the rhythm true for their kicker with exactly what he's used to doing on extra points. And that's exactly what he's used to doing on extra points. Another one that makes its way through the uprights. And there's a look at the young man who caught the touchdown pass a moment ago, making it 3 scores on the board for Robertson's Rams. Keeping our camera crew busy tonight, Tom, chasing that effective defense all over the place and making sure they get that football right into your living room. How about that?
Look at that. Going to call for a fair catch. Leans to the right of the equipment there.
What's the old minor league baseball Durham Bulls? He hit the bull. Ended up right there on the camera. It's coming right into your living room. And
this is like a county fair, right?
We're still getting live pictures. Some of the hardest working guys in the business for you doing a nice job up there. Well, you could have it 100 times and never be able to do it again. How about that? As it stays the momentum, at least, in Robertson's category.
Well, impressive for the Rams here off the jump, as the cliche goes. And, I mean, Irwin's a team that's been highly competitive, we've talked about, but Rams have jumped on them early here. Let's see how the Warriors can respond.
24 seconds left in the opening period. And we've seen everything right down to the cameras getting plunked by that last toss, or last kick, I should say, through the uprights. And this is going to be a drive that, as you said on more than one occasion now, becomes very important for Irwin to just try to stay some of this energy that is really building on that Rams sideline, because there's a lot of football left here.
Yeah, we're just entering the
3 full quarters remain.
Part of the first quarter, yeah.
And that's toss far side, caught. That'll be a pocket change laundry first down up to the 39-yard line. And this is in no way to rub salt into a wound, but just for fans who are finding us a little late here, a turnover on downs, an interception, and a fumble. That's been the story for Caden Engel and this Warriors team so far, Tom.
Yeah, couldn't have started any worse.
It's something that if there's one piece of good news for Warriors fans right now, it is there are 3 full quarters of football left, though they find themselves down 3 scores after the good work defensively and then under the leadership of Karad Harris offensively. It's Robertson in the first period doing everything right to take a commanding lead after 1. With us, laundry is not just a chore, but an experience in excellence. We take immense pride in being the premier laundry service in the region. We're redefining the standard of laundry care, combining cutting-edge technology, unparalleled customer service, and a commitment to quality that has earned us a reputation as being the best in Western North Carolina. Pocket Change Laundry. Check us out today. Well, if you're keeping score and charting drives through one period of action, everything's in one color. It's in those Robertson colors right now, Tom. 3 turnovers forced, including a turnover on downs in addition to that, and 3 touchdowns on the board. Caden Engel and his crew going to work after they switched sides, trying to make something happen the other way. It was a fruitful direction for the Rams. Why not? He tosses this up across the 45 to the 46. Jackson Davis there to make the catch.
James comes in, makes that tackle after he'd had a fumble recovery a little bit earlier in the ball game. And just had to get something positive happening here. I mean, they're a team that averages 20.6.
Had a first down right at the end of the quarter. And this is going to be a 3rd down scenario now, as that was snuffed out nicely. Big 7-1 in there.
Yeah, Caden Trimble Tucker at 6'2", 260, a junior. He has been a stalwart up front along with Edgar Gonzalez and Tariq Siebert. Siebert gets a lot of the recognition on the opposite side there, but a nice play by Trimble Tucker there.
They are combined 1 for 4 on 3rd and 4th downs so far in this contest. The Warriors of Irwin trying to set a different tone in the early stages of this second period. One thing you know, Coach Pruitt, his staff, they've seen a little bit of everything. They won't be rattled by this early scenario. Question is, how will their young team handle things? This toss near side, out of bounds near the 50, and here comes a flag on the type of tackle utilized as they work their way out of bounds.
Kevion Holloway, 5'9", 140, a junior. Right corner, a little bit extracurricular there as he crossed the outbound line.
And Tom, that was going to be the drive. That was going to be, you're looking at a 4th down and short of the marker scenario. Instead, if this is what it looks to be, it's going to be a 1st down for Engel and company. Of course, our crew talking about it. Josh Millsap's our referee, JT Grindstaff our umpire, the linesman Joseph Gibson, the line judge Kenneth Maccabee, and the back judge Sam Smith working together for you there. Here's the call. It is just that, and the Rams give Irwin a little bit of momentum there by moving the chains on their behalf.
Yeah, you're right. He was shy and just a little bit too much action there as he crossed the sideline there.
I'm going to say a moment ago, Coach Pruitt and his staff, you know what Coach Dunwoody and his staff have been able to put together already, but on that other sideline, on that home sideline, they'll be unfazed by this in many ways. They know a lot of football left, and he's got a host of Irwin Warriors on that staff, everybody but he, who might as well be synonymous with these colors after being here for a quarter century. Everybody but he and one other player on that Irwin staff, all former Warriors, so they know what a night like this means. You see the fire and energy on that other sideline right now, though. There's a look at Coach Dinwiddie, and 21's not enough. He likes every play to go his way. That's coaching, right?
Well, we always appreciate the conversation we have with coaches each week, and these are 2 experienced, veteran, very good coaches.
Very much so, and that's tipped up, and everybody on the home side holds their breath because the last couple of times the ball has gone in the air like that, it's resulted in an interception. This time it falls harmlessly to the turf.
You see him there is a Wynn making the play. He had that interception return for a touchdown earlier and just got that hand wrapped around him a little bit there to knock it away.
Eagle stepped up out of the trouble, but he is 6 of 13 tonight with the 2 interceptions thus far. The story on the junior quarterback of the Warriors to this point. On 3rd down, nice toss, and that's the doorstep of the First Bank red zone. It's down to the 21-yard line as he connects with Jackson Davis again.
Well done. They got him on the run. And that was a much-needed one right there. And goal comes in, 138 out of 231, 60%.
What did we say? The head coach of the Warriors, his staff, they've been in a lot of these battles over the years, will not panic on a methodical drive, trying to make it a 2-score game here. And don't let it be lost on you, the opportunity that was created and provided with the penalty a moment ago, which helped extend this drive. Going to be Lunsford rushing far side, but that is good for about 5 down to the 15-yard line.
And that's critical right there to get some kind of movement on first down and not be back behind the chains into a situation where you have to throw the football. So nice job up front to get it done. A nice game there to move the football.
2nd down and 5. And what will they do with this 2nd down play? Going to be tossed this side. Here's a catch inside the 10. That's Allen making the catch. He's down around the 7-yard line.
This ball play, we talked about it making a tackle a little while ago and fired it out there. We talked about Cagle Engel, a young man, 3rd-year starter now. He's got that great experience, so he's not going to get rattled. Gonna move on to the next play. That's tough to do, but good job on this drive.
Well, will this be a drive that ends with some images that will be a part of the Asheville Chevy Show at the half? The Asheville Chevy Show coming up in about 9 minutes, 9 seconds from now. You don't want to miss the Asheville Chevy Show at the half. Always one of the best features, long-standing features on Friday Night Rivals.
I love seeing the guys each and every week. They traverse western North Carolina, get up this way. Well, we talked about the Rams and what they've been able to accomplish, and their record at 5-3 coming in to 3-0 in conference play. And you made a good point earlier because next week they play out at Reynolds. Both teams are 3-0 at this point, and it could come down to a conference championship. We talked about Irwin last year. How about that season they had at 10-2, and eventually would get to the 3rd round and got beat by West Charlotte. But you think about the reclassification. West Charlotte now is 8A, and you're talking about a team that's 5A, so it's a little bit different this year with the reclassification.
Toss to the end zone, incomplete on 1st down, but a flag comes in here.
I think they're going to get a hold there in the secondary, and it was Wynn that was trying to defend there on that pass into the end zone. So knocking on the door right here. We'll get a good look at it here and maybe holding on just a little bit there. Jack Davis, we talked to Coach about him, Coach Pruitt. Big target. He likes him, 6'2", 175, a senior. And mentioned it at the outset, Jason, but worth noting again that this is an Irwin team without Lawson Reynolds. Got hurt with a knee injury in the 2nd quarter of play. And game 1 against Wes Anderson, 15 TD catches last year, 114 tackles as well, and had some Division I offers, and really a big loss for the team this year.
Would have been your go-to guy in such situations. So game-changing moment for this squad when they lost him early. A number of experienced playmakers remain. Let's see who they go to here and try to capitalize on this First Bank red zone chance on another 1st and goal after the penalty from inside the 5-yard line. Reminder, First Bank, 23 locations, Western North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina to serve you. That's First Bank, sponsors of our red zone tonight. Irwin trying to use this red zone chance to get on the board. And Robertson not having it on the 1st down rush. Guess who was there? Guy we've seen offensively on that most recent TD. Shares the name with the head coach on the far sideline.
Yeah, also an inside linebacker. Talking about Riddick Dinwiddie, 3rd leading tackler, 64 coming in. 6'1", 190 junior.
Wasn't alone, 22 there with him. A lot of help that time around. With 8:40 to play. 2nd down goal from now the 5. Engel tosses one up toward the corner, and it is brought home. What a catch. Nice job to high point that and bring it down for the TD. As Noah Hoodham has the catch for the Foundation Solutions touchdown.
And that is a big one right there. And he's got to place it just enough air under it over the defender who's in pretty busy at that point. But Hoodham's another one of those guys, 5'10", 160 senior, coming back a year ago. 56 catches coming in to lead the team. And that's a big one right there, given the circumstances of the game at 8:30.
Well, they had been waiting for something to cheer concerning on the near side. The extra point is going to be no good, so it'll be capped at 6. But the first touchdown of the night, our initial Foundation Solutions TD on the toss from Engel to Hoodham, and just like that, Irwin is on the board. A lot of smiles pregame tonight, rightfully so. So many of the homecoming court delivered, so many of those that, were here early to cheer on some of those senior participants as they were honored tonight. That's our Caroline Albee Orthodontics Smile Cam. We thank our friends at Caroline Albee Orthodontics, sponsors of our Smile Cam tonight. Tom, all the pageantry surrounds a Friday night like this certainly brings a smile to your face.
And not only football players, you saw cheerleaders and band members and a lot of the seniors that put in a lot of time, a lot of effort. And you know what? This is a big year for those young men and women because they'll head off to a different situation next year.
It'll change your life. You know a little bit about it when it starts winding down, right?
Yes, I do.
It'll change your life and change your home. And we send our best wishes and certainly our warmest thoughts to all those who are finishing this stage of life and moving on to the next, a night in which that has been celebrated. Well, they just celebrated the first points of the night for the Irwin Warriors, capping off that drive of 12 plays and 77 yards with a 6-yard toss. And though the PAT failed, 21-6 certainly feels a lot different than that first quarter did for the home folks.
Well, I think I said earlier that that was a big drive. That might have been after the second touchdown. But you know what? You've scored. And if you can get one here, you got plenty of time in the second quarter to play, get it back, and get within shouting distance to a certain extent. But this is an Irwin team that's been a gritty bunch this year, given some of the circumstances and the conditions they played through and under that, they're not going away.
Well, one thing about everything happening so quickly with the turnover on downs, the interception, the fumble, the 3 scores that came as a result. One thing about it happening so quickly, Tom, it leaves you a whole lot of time to respond.
Yes, it does.
And that's certainly the case for this crew. Cox makes the tackle here, and here's a second down play coming. Make it 2nd down and 3. Under pressure. He's got the wheels to work his way out of there, and Harris does. He's got a first down after all that. Karad Harris reminding you just how elusive he can be.
Boy, he did such a great job with that fake. I thought he gave it up inside, didn't even know he had it. It looked like he wanted to throw it, and then he just made a whole bunch of something out of nothing right there. Nicely done. It was well defended.
He has been impressive tonight, and that's one of the more stellar plays we've seen. Under 8 minutes to go, first half. Harris over the middle. There will be flags. There was all kind of contact that allowed, or prevented, I should say, Atkins from creating any separation.
Kadarian Brown, the left corner, called KD, 5'11", 153 junior. I caught up there a little bit. Going to get flagged for that one. Our conversation with Coach Dinwiddie this week about Harris is only a sophomore, but what he loved about it was his demeanor, even keel guy, doesn't get too up, too down, emotional, and that for a sophomore, that's really impressive.
Yeah, I like that word, that terminology he used, talking about how even-keeled he was for a sophomore. That really speaks to the opportunity he has to grow into one of the great players before his career is done here in Western North Carolina. Well, it's 1st and 10 after the pass interference call, as they have moved them inside Irwin territory at the 39. Harris, he's going to look deep. Got a man down there, and an adjustment made, but just could not quite bring it home. Boy, that was about as good as you could ask for from his receiver right there, Tom. Gave himself a chance.
Yeah, had plenty of time, then bought himself some more time to get out of the pocket and just launched it long and make it a jump ball down there. And good positioning there defensively to make sure it didn't happen. You got to turn and find the ball. He did there. And a good job defensively by Lucas O'Connor, 5'11", 145. And a junior.
And that's Farmer, who was the intended target there, who we've seen in the kicking game so far tonight. He had a look at it down on the goal line, but it is incomplete. Harris up across the 35, down inside it to the 33. And boy, even when he doesn't do anything spectacular, you still look up and he's reeled off 5 or 6 yards there, Tom.
Yeah, Colby Cox coming over to help make that play. 5'11", 165, a junior. Coach telling us that he has really come on here most recently.
One of those players developing and coming into his own when it matters here. Going to make 3rd and 4. And whirling dervish that time as he is spun around. Who was that?
Elijah
Kolomaychuk. Kolomaychuk was the guy there. Is a name we'll call regularly tonight. He fills up some space in the heart of that defense. And take a look at his effort here.
Yeah, 5'10", 255 senior. Mom's teacher.
He was one of those. Kolomaychuk, one of those, honored in the pregame, among others. 1 for 4 in this scenario. And he's going to be swallowed up and sacked. And how about this? The defense standing tall for Irwin.
Jaden Holder at 6 feet, 185, a senior. He had time momentarily, and then all of a sudden, look out. I mean, you know, the old cliche, looked like he was shot out of a cannon, and he hit his target right there.
Correct myself there. 0 for 1 in that scenario, and now you can make it 0 for on a couple of scenarios in that situation as the 4th down play is turned aside. And just like that, all the momentum suddenly in the corner of the home team. They go to work right away, and this is up across midfield on a nice carry to jumpstart this drive as they give it to Lunsford to start things.
Yeah, Lunsford's a young man that you'll see him in a number of different positions. 5'9", 155 junior. JV action last year. A lot of guys getting some playing time this year.
Who would have dreamed with what we saw in the early stages of this one? Warriors would be in a position if they go on the march here to make this a 1-score game heading toward the midway point. There's a toss to Davis, caught far side.
You know, we talked about this on the last possession. What did they do? They were able to get yardage on 1st down, and it changed the dynamics of the play calling. And kind of gotten into a little bit of a groove offensively. And again, this is a TC Robertson Rams team that's only given up 26 points in the last 4 games, scored 163, and back-to-back shutouts.
Not only that, remember what they're playing for. Remember what's on the line tonight as they continue to drive toward what would be perfect in the conference so far, an opportunity to make this a championship-type season conference-wise. But Irwin has played spoiler on more than one occasion this season. We can forget the Hendersonville moment, and they certainly have been on the doorstep of a number of other key wins. And if they're able to battle all the way back in this one tonight, you'll just have to remember how they withstood that early series of events that all trended Robertson's direction, and Irwin withstood. It's going to be offsides against Robertson. So, a penalty or two that have proven costly here in the last couple of drives as well, Tom.
You need to take advantage of it here. Winding down here in the second quarter of play. Irwin scored 35 last week in that tough loss against Ashford. They put some points on the board.
That's beyond the sticks, and it is caught. So Engel has it to Davis this time, and they work their way down on the doorstep of the First Bank red zone again.
Having a good night tonight is Davis. Good pattern, down, out, deliver the ball on a line, and then developing offensive line, providing time for him to let it go. So nicely done up front, too.
Coming this way. And down to the 21-yard line, as Lunsford was given the carry that time. Lunsford, a couple of those to this point for Irwin. You talked about Davis's night so far. That was his 4th catch for 41 yards. Lunsford, who you just saw rush it, 3 of them for 43, is going to be tossed the direction of Allen, and he's inside the red zone at the 14-yard line. So move the chains again. It's going to be a first down inside the First Bank red zone.
That one, get it out on the edge. We've seen him get back to the pocket and unload it long, get a crossing pattern, get it out, see what he can do. Nicely done.
Boy, the way things went early and the way that group proudly representing Leicester with the pronunciation across the chest, right?
Yes.
Of the home locale. How pleased they must be right now with the way the hometown kids are responding. And this is tossed far side, but it's going to be very limited in its impact as he's gathered up after catching the ball. Hoodham there, the target. And it's going to be right back at around the line of scrimmage. By how things have changed on that far sideline in recent moments. And a key second coming.
Hey, well, that's a good play defensively because they fake it up inside. The last pass had gone on the edge the other way, and you tried to get the same type of situation, but really flowed well to the ball and made the play.
Second down. Still 10 needed, and that's tossed up, and bodies collide as the ball falls to the turf. Incomplete. A little thought of jumping the route right there.
I'll tell you what, if it's a little bit lower, T.J. Young might be headed the other way, like Wynn was 41 yards in the first half.
Yeah, Wynn had the pick 6 if you weren't with us. One of the 3 touchdowns on the board right now for Robertson. Here comes 3rd down and 10. 3rd downs tonight for the Warriors of Irwin. A 1-for-4 scenario. They needed to work inside the 5 and down around the 3-yard line if they're to convert on this one. Of course, the touchdown always available, and the timeout is taken just prior to this play being initiated. It comes with 3:46 to go in the half. And the Warriors on the march trying to tighten things on Friday Night Rivals. Carolina Furniture Concepts is a presenting sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. They have over $5 million of furniture in stock and ready to be delivered to you. Visit their Arden and Waynesville showrooms or go online at carolinafurnitureconcepts.com. Pleasure to have you with us back at John G. Kerr Stadium. We're coming your way from the Gene McClure press box. The Irwin Warriors, despite how things were skewed early numbers-wise, this is a game in which 154 yards of offense has them out front of the 146 of Robertson right now. And trying to add to that on a third down play with a toss underneath, but it is incomplete. And now a fourth down is coming for Irwin.
Had what they wanted to set it up, but the pressure was there. And he had to get rid of it on a back pedal there, and it came up a little bit shy.
Yeah, he just threw that a little too short that time. And this is fourth down. Going to come your way from the 9-yard line, or excuse me, the 14-yard line. I'm looking at the 4-yard line, Tom. They've got to get past there for a first down with ease. Of course, the touchdown available as well, but there is a first down prior to the TD if they can work their way beyond the 4, right around the 3-yard line. It's going to be to the end zone. It is incomplete, and that's going to be the drive for the Warriors. So a big turn aside for the Rams of Robertson as this drive comes for naught.
Josiah James was there defensively. You'll get one more look at it here. Let it go. He goes down hard and sails incomplete into the end zone.
Boy, that was an opportunity for the Warriors to get this to a one-score contest at the 3.5-minute mark of the first half after all they experienced early on. Instead, Rams go to work. And Robertson will keep it on the ground. That's about 4 on the first down carry. Well, if you want to circle moments that matter for each team, that one certainly goes in there as a major one for Robertson to keep control of the football game right now.
Well, the key here, too, is down the stretch in the final 3:16 is to make sure that it stays the way it is right now.
You're talking about, of course, from the Irwin side of things, not let anything further happen from that Robertson scenario. Just saying in terms of if you're looking at what are the big plays on one side, what are the big plays on the other, that stop for the Robertson defense got to be right up there.
Yeah, that
when you
is.
consider it would have been a one-score game.
Yes, it would have, and it would have changed the dynamics of the game at this point.
2:45 and working downward. Ahead of a third down play, can this Irwin squad get the ball back pretty quickly here? Maybe find another crack at doing just that, turning it into a one-score game. And before Harris and company can go to work, a penalty flag comes in. So instead of being third down and about 5, Robertson going to face a third down and 10. Robertson tonight, 2 of 5 on third down conversions. So 2 of 5 tonight. This one of the lengthier ones, going to be 3rd and 10. They need the 24 to move the chains assuredly. Harris finds some room, and he's up right at the marker. Be interesting to see where they say he went down, Tom, because he's very close to first down yard.
I tell you what, he gives you the sense that he can unload it at any moment, and there's a little bit of a hesitation, and then he plants the foot acceleration. Good gain.
Yeah, sophomore does a nice job selling it. Not only is he a strong athlete, not only does he have the arm strength we saw earlier tonight, but I'm with you, sells the play very well, especially for a young QB. Getting a little help from his back after he does move the chains with the first down conversion. And he will sling it this time, and that's good for a first down. Yeah, that is what keeps you honest, Tom. Ball is on the ground. Let's see if they say it's out. If so, Irwin will have it. And our officials gathered up to talk it over. It appears as if they're going to say the runner was down. They will. It stays with the Rams.
At Dinwiddie had just 9 catches coming in. He's got 3 big ones here so far in this contest.
Yeah, they're either for a first down or a touchdown when he catches it, right?
Yeah, that's a good call. He's down.
Take a look at
he's got to fit it in there, too.
Dinwiddie, who's worked to the ground by the time that ball pops out. 92 seconds remaining in the half. Will Robertson be able to add more? They do have another first down play to work with. And here's Harris, still moving up near midfield. He's at the 46. as we close in on a minute or so remaining.
I'll tell you, Jason, talk about Sullivan. I'll tell you, those running backs, too, are doing an outstanding job. He'll hold it, pull it out, and he literally hides it like on the hip there. You have really got to be disciplined on defense to follow where the ball is.
No doubt about it, because he can't zip it in there like he did on that most recent first down conversion. Has hit a tight window a couple of times tonight when needed. Has made the long toss tonight, showing off the arm strength, done a little bit of everything. But he and the Rams will face a 3rd and 5 here. 3rd down conversions for Robertson. They are 3 of 5 to this point. 103 yards passing to 125 of them for Irwin. And we told you both these two teams were in the mid-100s in terms of yards. With the good work for Robertson of late, they are trending upward at 184 to the 154 gained overall total offense, that is, in the game. Beautifully tossed, beautifully caught. Still on the move is Durant, and he is all the way down into the First Bank red zone. Little toss from Harris to Durant, and the Rams are in business in the final minute of the half.
Deja vu all over again. The first drive in the first quarter when he hit him for 44 yards. That's a big one right there.
Think about how important that scoring drive not being finished just a moment ago for the Warriors proved to be. 41 yards on that connection. And instead of Robertson trying to battle back and extend the lead from one possession, they just run the advantage back to 3. A touchdown rush for Harris. And that high water mark in terms of advantage tonight is reestablished.
Man, what a drive, A, and watch this play, B, and how he is able to finesse himself into the end zone for a touchdown. I don't think any finesse to it. Just able to grind it in there. What a play. What a drive.
A Foundation Solutions touchdown for Karad Harris. As his team said, we would stand that response from Irwin, and we build the lead right back where it had been. In fact, a point higher at 28-6. When we were here a couple of years ago, 27-7 final. Our broadcast partner, statistician Tim Amos, was alongside at the color analyst role on that night. It was a night that the Warriors hung close, but Robertson did just enough to pull away in the end. The last time these two teams met, right on the backside of the Hurricane, it was an Irwin victory. Tonight, it has been Robertson from the very beginning, and you can see a whole lot of Rams highlights on the upcoming Asheville Chevy Show at the half, which is now just a half minute or so away.
Yeah, took it over. They got the stop that they wanted, and then they were able to go to the distance. Didn't take them long to do that, and a couple of big plays along the way.
Well, 28 seconds with which to work for the home team. And, you know, this is a situation where the halftime conversation to some degree may fall into that what might have been category. And you can look at a couple of 4th downs on both sides that have proven critical in this one. When you add it all up, though, Robertson in a prime spot, particularly when you consider, remember, Irwin won the toss, took the football. So Robertson also is going to have the first crack at it in the 3rd quarter. And you say, what happened early? What are you talking about? Well, there's a turnover on downs, an interception, and a fumble on successive drives that allowed Robertson at the time to build a 21-0 advantage. They've now run the advantage to 22 with a 28-6 lead in the closing seconds of the first half. What are your takeaways from this first half?
Impressive as far as Robertson has been from the standpoint that they've got a big game next week against AC Reynolds. What they've been able to accomplish the last 4 games, particularly scoring more than 40. The defense has been good, but they got it done offensively, and then they were able to utilize defensively as well.
Here's a screen. It's still on his feet inside the 40. Can they do something with the final seconds of this first half? Allen trying to make it a possibility.
And just got that out on the edge there. Good game.
Coming this way, but unable to get out of bounds this time is Allen. Timeout taken with 10 seconds remaining.
What's amazing, though, 21-6 going in, opportunity to score, cut it to a possession game, don't make it, and then that quickly turned it around, go the other way. But this is a high-scoring TC Robertson team. And then they demonstrated why on that last drive.
You do think about that 1 4th down play down there and the couple of opportunities that existed, because we were looking at the potential of a 21-13, or should they have opted to try for 2, a 21-14 contest. Instead, the separation there again, and I'll underscore the point, Tom, and not only does Robertson have the separation right now, they also will have the football to try to extend the lead further in the third quarter. So things going back TCR's direction in those moments previously. Well, they are on the Robertson side of the 50. And you know the strength is there for Engel to unfurl one. Let's see what the Southpaw QB opts to go with here. Tried to hit a target at the sideline to get a little closer before working one toward the end zone, but this was too tall, intended for Allen. And there's 7 seconds remaining.
Still trying to get something generated, and you know, if they can, they've got a pretty good kicker. And Ardo trying to get something on the board. He's hit 3 or 4 and along a 37, so not a whole lot of time to work with here, but maybe get one play here to do it.
Fakes one. Now he's got to throw one over the middle, and that is knocked down. There are just a couple. There's going to be time left. Just a couple of seconds left there. That was nearly intercepted, just ended up falling to the turf over there, but 4th down's coming, so Warriors going to get one more crack at throwing one up and seeing what happens here, Tom.
I think you made a good point too, Jason, that Rams are going to get the ball start second half after Irwin had it and decided to take the football.
That, of course, was the drive that ended in the turnover on downs. Here is that one last heave toward pay dirt, but it is incomplete on the far side, and we have reached the intermission. Well, on the strength of a 21-0 lead in the first quarter, the Rams will carry a 28-6 advantage to the locker room. Just an all-around impressive effort, really in all phases. The kicking game's been true. The defense responsible for a touchdown in this one. It's been complimentary football for Robertson.
Yeah, defense got to stop to begin things. They put together a 5-play, 64-yard drive. Harris, 18-yard run for a score. Then they get the 41-yard interception by Wynn. They cause another turnover, have a short 33-yard drive. But as you mentioned, led 21-0 at the end of the first quarter of play. And a nice little comeback by Irwin to get it in and have that drive as well.
Well, he's going to have plenty to be positive about, and certainly some adjustments to make. Time to get the thoughts of the head coach of the Robertson Rams.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Jason. This is the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Carolina Furniture Contest. Well, Coach, I got to tell you, you guys are firmly in control of this game. At the half, 28-6. What are your thoughts on the game so far, Coach?
Well, I mean, I think we've got to do a better job. We've been out of position a couple times defensively that, afforded them some first down. So, 28-6 great, but we're still not playing as good as I'd like us to. A little frustrated.
So what's the message to the boys in the locker room, Coach?
Keep trucking. Got to keep the pedal to the floor and finish this thing.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Yes, sir. Tom, Jason, back to you guys.
Well, for him, it's all about climbing, Tom, and that means you're looking at yourself and your best as a standard. His team does carry the advantage into the locker room. This, of course, the touchdown toss the home team had to cheer about. That was the only score for Irwin in the first half of action, and they will trail 28-6 behind a strong first half performance from Harris and company.
Bojangles Friday Night Rivals Halftime, brought to you by Asheville Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals here on the Asheville Chevrolet Halftime Show. Well, folks, I'm standing here on the sidelines with the proud and longtime sponsors from Asheville Chevrolet, Bobby and Joey Roussel. The Roussel men, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, Nelson. Glad to be here, Nelson.
All right, now we all know no great halftime show is complete without the famous Bobby and Joey first half assessment. So, Bobby, fire away.
Well, the first half assessment has been T.C. Robinson's running away with it, but I think the Warriors are going to get back in this in the second half.
Okay, Joey, what you got?
I'd say it's actually a little more even than the score says. It's just they're winning the turnover battle. That's really what it's coming down to.
They're insightful. Now, gentlemen, let's talk business. I gather y'all have a big and exciting event next Friday in honor of Halloween, y'all's Truck or Treat event. Is that right?
That's right.
What's it all about? Talk to me.
We're just having additional sales right now on Traxxas and Trailblazers, as well as Equinoxes and Silverados. It's going to be a big event, but come on out.
That sounds fantastic. Now, you mentioned the words "come on out" just now, but those who want to come by and say as early as tomorrow morning, do some business with y'all, where can they find y'all? What are y'all's days and times of operation?
205 Smoky Park Highway.
All right.
Been there for 25 years.
Excellent. Now, gentlemen, let's talk, because as I alluded to earlier, y'all are longtime and proud sponsors of high school athletics. My question to y'all is simple. Why? Why are y'all so inspired to get back and really invest in young athletes? Joey, I want to start with you.
I mean, just growing up, like I said, he always invested in my football team growing up, and we had cameras and everything, got to be on film, and it was awesome. It was a great experience, and I think that being able to pass that on to these kids is part of it.
That does sound awesome. Bobby?
Well, I just love taking the opportunity to have these kids out here, put them on TV and let them at least experience what they can experience later in life if they go play for the collegiate.
All truly noble. Well, gentlemen, on behalf of My 40 and Friday Night Rivals, thank y'all so much for y'all's longstanding and proud support of high school athletics. We truly couldn't do it without you guys.
We are very proud to do it, Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Nelson.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Folks, we'll be back in just a moment.
By Asheville Chevrolet. Friday Night Rivals Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Arby's.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals here on the Asheville Chevrolet Halftime Show. Well, folks, throughout the course of the F&R season, we're going to interview an array of Arby's Scholar Athlete winners here on this show. These Arby's Scholar Athlete winners are eligible to receive a $5,000 scholarship. Tonight, we are joined by the Arby's Scholar Athlete winner from T.C. Roberson High School, Andrew DeMatos. Mr. DeMatos, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Now, from what I gather, you are truly the GOAT of lacrosse. Is that about right?
I don't know. Some say.
Now, how long have you played the sport, and what position do you play as well?
I started playing lacrosse when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
With Asheville Empire Club.
Okay, let's talk about some of your accomplishments in the sport of lacrosse.
Okay, so I've gotten all conference, mountain, foothills, first team, all conference, second team, offensive MVP for my TC Robertson team, and I'm currently the captain for TC Robertson.
Most impressive, my man. And I gather you're going to make Michael Phelps proud as well later on this winter because you're going to start diving for the first time. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I figured I'd try something new, step out of my comfort zone, and I feel like diving's a good opportunity to do that. I like diving at my local pool.
That is outstanding. Now let's talk academics because you're sitting on a bad boy 4.6 GPA. Is that right?
Yes, sir, I do.
And you are also currently ranked 8th overall in your class. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I am.
That is terrific, my man. What are some of your post-high school plans? Do they include playing lacrosse and diving as well?
I don't know about diving. We'll see how this year goes, but I definitely would like to do some club lacrosse.
Okay.
I plan to attend a 4-year college.
Okay.
And I'm undecided so far, but I think I'm deciding if I'm going to major in business.
All great stuff, my man. Now, you're also a saxophonist as well. Is that right?
Yes, sir, I am.
How long have you played?
I have been playing since 6th grade.
That's pretty cool, buddy.
Yes,
now, I gather you also have quite the presence in the community, too. You're somebody who volunteers with the National Honor Society as well as with the Scouts, too. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm an Eagle Scout.
Okay.
So I want to shout out to Troop 26. Great people there, and I wouldn't have achieved Eagle Scout without them. Our camp got swept away by Hurricane Helene, and we're resilient, and we're rebuilding, and we're doing a great job with it. So I'm proud to be part of Troop 26.
All noble work indeed. Well, once again, Andrew, you are Army Scholar Athlete winner. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Arby's, we have the meats. We'll be back in just a moment, folks. Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals here on the Asheville Chevrolet Halftime Show. Well, folks, I'm standing here on the sidelines with one of the lovely mamas here at Erwin High School. Mom, are you liking this game so far, even with the score?
I would like it better if there were more points, but I think they're going to come out refreshed and ready to win.
And that's what the second half is for. Is that
That's
right, Mom?
right, absolutely.
That's right. Say, listen, Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you mind?
No.
Okay, well, I got to ask you this very important question then.
Sure.
When do most sports-related injuries occur? Is it during practice or during a game?
During a game?
It's actually during practice, Mom.
Oh.
62% of organized sports-related injuries take place outside of competitive games.
All right. I didn't know that.
Learned something new tonight, huh, Mom?
Every day, yeah.
But guess what? At Mercy Urgent Care, they are there for all the sprains, strains, and, of course, sports injuries. And they can do it in a fast and affordable manner, Mom.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome.
Pretty awesome to know. That's right.
Absolutely.
And before I let you go, can I ask you one final question? Do you mind?
Not much.
Did you also know that in Mercy Urgent Care, they offer high-quality medical care at a fraction of the cost of an ER visit? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So you learned 2 new awesome things tonight. Is that
Two
right, Mom?
things.
That's what I'm talking
great
about.
day.
Mercy Urgent Care, healing the Western North Carolina region since the year 1900. Well, now, Mom, I'd say halftime is almost over. You about ready to get back to the game?
I'm ready to get back and warm.
Let me hear it one good time. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors!
That's right. Bring it in, Mom. Woo! That's right. Folks, we'll be back in just a moment.
"28-6, our halftime score with the Robertson Rams in the lead. As we continue on with the Asheville Chevy Show, Tom, you look back at the standout moments from that first half, and there were a lot of them in the early going for the visitors from Robertson.
Yeah, there was the young quarterback Harris, and he looks downfield. Well, why did not just take it at 18 yards for a touchdown?
Now, the opportunities were there because the first drive ended in a turnover on downs, and there was an interception, followed by an interception, followed by a fumble. You'll see those here, all those creating further opportunities for the Rams.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's the INT that goes 41 yards for a touchdown. Chantan Wynn able to do that, and a little pump fake, throw it over the middle, and you get it to Dinwiddie, and it takes him to the end zone for a touchdown.
Now you see that interception by Wynn. Banks had an interception. James had a fumble recovery. Number of things happening positively there. There were spots after Robertson really showed itself early where Irwin was able to get some things going, and the Warriors, they end up, putting together a pretty good drive, cap it with a touchdown toss into the corner, and so far that's the only scoring for Irwin.
Yeah, they had that touchdown. They got it in to the end zone. You see him fired to Hoodham makes that catch in the back of the end zone. Then they had another opportunity, but they couldn't get it done then, and then it results in them having the football, them being TCR, and takes it in for the touchdown. And again, who is it?
Yep.
Harris.
Cap it with the touchdown run from Harris, who was solid in that first half. So it is 28-6 at the half here in the land of the Warriors. Time to hear from the head man for Irwin.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Jason. This is the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Carolina Furniture Concepts. Well, Coach, I do have a dual question for you. What was the message to the boys in the locker room? What can we expect from you and your team in the second half of the game?
Well, we got to take care of ourselves. I mean, we started this game in a hole 21-zip. You can't turn the ball over 3 straight possessions in a row to a good team in TC and expect for good things to happen. And since that time, we've weathered the storm. It's a 7-6 ball game, but we just dug ourselves a deep hole. And the message at halftime was just, we got to keep fighting. Make your opportunities happen. When your number's called, you got to make the play.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Yes, sir. Thank you. Tom, Jason, back to you guys.
Well, he said it, a 7-6 ball game once things settled in that first half. Second half, around the corner. We'll have it for you on the other side of the break. 28-6, our halftime score. Getting ready to go in the third quarter. Robertson set to receive the football. The numbers speak to the dominance of Robertson in that first half. And the big one, Tom, that three turnovers all on the Irwin side.
Yeah, the interception we saw, 41 yards for a touchdown. The next possession, interception, 33-yard line, and touchdown on that drive, and really got behind, as Coach said, 21-0.
The third one, the fumble, and that was on the very next drive as well. Those moments, the difference in the game, and I thought Rodney Pruitt said it well when we visited with him a few moments ago. Since that time, it's a 7-6 football game. But up to that time, it was all Robertson. Irwin did win the toss, took the football in the first half, so the Rams will get to try and add to their advantage. Why not? Try for it here. Ball was loose momentarily, but covered up when it matters. You got to love the thinking for Coach Pruitt and his staff right there. They tried to steal a possession away and almost did.
Yeah, that's a nice job, bounding it. And you never know with the oblong ball, and a good diving recovery there to get on the football. And, you like the aggressiveness there, and a nice job to get on that football there by Tariq Siebert, who's an outstanding defensive end. One of the top players on defense, made a nice play there.
Harris, a couple of touchdown runs in that first half. He's going to give it off this go-round. And this rush is going to go for about 5 yards. You look at his overall numbers. He carried it through 5 times, through 12 times, I should say, completing 5 of those for 144 yards and a touchdown. And then we told you 2 rushing touchdowns. That's the work he's done so far. How does that fit into your keys to the game, Tom?
I'll tell you that TCR did play their game. Discipline on defense, they've been good there. And Irwin, haven't been able to finish in some close games. They're behind by now. And the other ones eliminate the explosive plays. And the Rams have had several of those here in the game. They need to work on that aspect of it. So.
Was going to give you Harris's numbers: 42 yards, 2 touchdowns alongside 8 carries. He's got plenty to work with here, and that's Simpson who is involved one more time. It'll move the chains. That is a pocket change laundry first down. Robertson on the move, opening sequence of the third quarter. And another dose of Simpson. He's inside the 45 to the 40. That's another pocket change laundry first down. How about this? A couple of key runs for 45, and Simpson has those chains moving.
He got the ball in pretty good field position after the attempted onside kick there, keeping the ball on the ground. Boy, that just sets up some other opportunities for Harris. We've seen him be able to throw the ball. You saw the numbers a moment ago, his ability to keep it on the ground, 18 to 13-yard runs for touchdown.
Nobody's carried it more than Simpson, 14 times for 60 yards. He's averaging over 4 yards per carry, and you know what those averages give you on the long haul. This tossed right out in front, and boy, was this a beautifully designed play to Durant, who has himself inside the 30. Mark him at the 27. Guess what? That's another pocket change laundry first down play.
But you know what you love about this? Durant, who's had some big pass play and catches as well. 5'8", 135, junior.
Another one of
260.
Another one of those players going to be back with more eligibility, like the sophomore QB. You said it. The way they play tonight, impressive. This is going to be tossed. Who's there? There is Dinwiddie again, and he's going to be inside the 15. First Bank red zone chance with the latest to the pocket change laundry first downs.
Tight end has been a factor in this game. That's his 4th catch tonight, including 1 for the touchdown.
How about pocket change laundry as you get one more look at this, which gets them into the First Bank red zone?
Yep, threw it back over the middle. He had that 27-yarder for a touchdown.
Turn, give, and good for a couple of yards. By the way, Pocket Change Laundry sponsoring all these first down plays on this drive. It's not just a chore, it is an experience in excellence at Pocket Change Laundry. They take immense pride in being the premier laundry service in the region, and they're the sponsors of all these first downs on this drive that have culminated in the First Bank red zone with under 10 to play here in the third. Harris looking to throw. He will, but that's incomplete.
Under pressure on the backside there. Good job to come up and put pressure on him there. You see under your screen, Hoodman, who's been had a good job defensively and on the offensive side with the Irwin touchdown. And that one a little bit low on outside for a ball.
That's the guy who caught the touchdown pass a little bit earlier. Guy with the TD on the opposite side of the football for the Irwin Warriors. Well, here comes 3rd down and 7. what will be the outcome of this First Bank Red Zone opportunity. The result, a touchdown. And guess who again? He had a series earlier in the game where he caught 3 passes, 2 of them for first downs and 1 of them for a touchdown. He just caught his 2nd touchdown of the night. Dinwiddie there again. And that is the latest of the Foundation Solutions touchdowns as Robertson has now built its largest lead.
Wow, what a drive to begin things here in the second half. Recovered at the 38-yard line on the onside kick there, and then utilized a lot of different formations and options out of that spread offense.
Well, what it must be like to call your son's number time and again here and see him effectively answer. Riddick Dinwiddie, 2nd touchdown reception of the night, and it is the latest toss for Kenrod Harris and company as it goes to 35-6.
Options. Learn more at ncdhhs.gov/crisis services.
Well, now a 35-6 contest, Tom, after an 8-play, 63-yard drive capped by the 11-yard touchdown toss to Dinwiddie from Harris. And, boy, how about the job Rod Harris has done tonight and a number of different playmakers he's been able to utilize by putting points on the board.
Keep you off balance offensively, the ability for the quarterback to run the football, to throw it deep over the middle, and get some help from some other folks offensively, Simpson as well.
Hard as it may be to believe by looking at that scoreboard, there was a moment in the not too distant past, on down in the depths of the second quarter, in which this had the potential to be a 1-score game. Now all of a sudden Robertson, utilizing their first possession of the second half, has opened up to the high water mark its most sizable lead of the night. 35-6 the score, and the challenge even larger now in front of the brotherhood of the home fans here as the Warriors go to work. It's going to be brought Tolbert's direction, and Jabari Tolbert with this little toss his side has a few yards.
How about to catch, touchdown pass, then make a tackle on the first play for scrimmage? And we haven't talked a whole lot about Jabari Tolbert, 6 feet, 215 freshman. Really think he's got a great career here in front of him. Came in with 71 carries, 388, 4 touchdowns, about 5 yards per carry, and a couple 100-yard rushing games.
Matched his average right there on that last touch, as that was 5 yards tossed his way. They go to Hoodum, who had the touchdown catch earlier. If you missed it, Hoodum had the moment of that first half for the Irwin Warriors in the corner of the end zone when he brought in a pretty impressive touchdown toss. But here he is swallowed up right away.
They got it going laterally there a little bit and flowing to the football. And we talk so much about on the offensive side, but the defense has been stellar as well this year.
1 of 5 on third down, and this third down play will be incomplete. You can make it 1 of 6, and fourth down is coming just that quickly for the Irwin Warriors.
Yeah, the last thing they wanted was 3 and out after that 8-play, 63-yard drive. They did it in 2.5 minutes. Going to get it back.
Well,
the rarity of punt.
Fourth down and about 5 years. One thing we haven't seen a lot of in this game, right? So many of, we were talking at halftime how many of the drives ended on a turnover on downs in that first half. Had that happen a couple of times when you look at things on both sides. And this one is booted. Going to be allowed to bounce just shy of the 40 and be blown dead at around the 44-yard line. 26 yards on the punt, and the Rams will have the football once again when you return to Lester. Stay with News 13 tonight at 11 p.m. for complete coverage of Western North Carolina High School football with Chris and Marvin. Friday Football Frenzy. It's brought to you by Foundation Solutions of Western North Carolina. .35 on the board for the Rams of Robertson, and back at it offensively. What a night it has been already for Karad Harris. He's going to turn, give it right up the middle. You know, Tom, we have not yet given a great deal of love to that unit up front that has been making space for Harris and saving time for him throughout the night. But the offensive front for Robertson has been impressive.
Yeah, I talked about four seniors up front. Carson Thompson's the center at 5'10", 215. Right guard, Sammy Cornelius. Right tackle, Reason Plummer. Cruz Dawkins at left guard, and Kaiden Treminol Tucker. And did a great job up front. 260, 265, 215, 280, 256.
Giving him plenty of time tonight when he's needed it, and certainly have made space for Harris to rush the football from time to time. How quickly these drives passing us by. 3rd down and 9 coming here. If you're wondering about Robertson, they are 3 of 6 on 3rd down in the football game.
Still pretty amazing when you think about they had all those big backs, and talking to Coach Dinwiddie, well, why did you go to this? Well, he's got smaller but quicker, maybe athletic guys that can do some different things. So he changed due to his personnel, and you don't see that a lot sometimes.
Well, it works out for this personnel on this night. Here's another big toss. Breaking loose and finding plenty of space is Atkins, and he's finally wrestled down at around the 10-yard line. Flags come in at the end of this, but it is the latest big play. Harris to Atkins for Robertson.
All right, we talked about Durant, 5'8", 135 junior, Atkins, 5'9", 145 sophomore, Harris, 5'8", 150 sophomore. And he was talking about having those athletic players, a little different look when they ran the triple option with the bigger backs. They could block out on the edge with an outside linebacker. And boy, have they been effective, particularly in the last 5 games.
44 yards on this connection, and Tom, Rams knocking on the door again. You know, and they're trying to shorten the night on this drive if they're able to find a way to get in the end zone. Got to be a face mask, which will add a little more onto the end of this as it goes a little deeper into the First Bank red zone.
Well, they've done exactly what they wanted to do to start the second half. They got a late touchdown at the end of the before intermission, and they came out, they got the ball, scored a touchdown, 3 and out, and they're on the verge of getting another one right here.
From the 5-yard line, tossed, caught, touchdown. Guess who? It is Dinwiddie again. The 3rd touchdown toss his direction tonight. And the Rams have eclipsed 40. You talked about how high-powered this offense had been in overall numbers coming in, Tom, and they matched that once more tonight.
Boy, they just can light it up and hit you in a number of different ways, and they are playing great football at the right time of the year.
Reddick Dinwiddie right where he needed to be. Caught that with plenty of toughness. And a flag comes in before Jake Farmer can attempt to connect on this latest PAT. They're going to back it up just a little bit after a false start. And look at this. Don't you love the fire that you see from the elder of the Dinwiddies out there in the football field tonight? He is hanging on every move, knowing he's preparing this team, Tom, for a deeper run in the fall of 2025 than just what's happening on the scoreboard right now. And you can see it with the intensity with which he demands the best of his football team.
Team's playing like that, too. It's taking on his demeanor.
Farmer punches it through nonetheless and runs the tally up one more. 42-6 on this Foundation Solutions touchdown toss. It's a Dinwiddie making the catch again, his third of the night, to expand the lead. Well, some of our crew working hard for you on the sideline tonight. The Carolina Albee Orthodontics Smile Cam bringing you a window into all those who have made possible these contests across the course of the season. And, of course, for TC Robertson, they are all smiles on that far side as the visitors have built a 42-6 advantage here as we welcome you back with the Carolina Albee Smile Cam. Some of the North Greenville students that help out on our broadcast across the course of the season, and we thank all those who've made it a point, whether it's 1 week or the full schedule, to do the little things, all the major things as well necessary to make these broadcasts possible. 6:22 to play in this third period, Tom, and Robertson really having taken command of this football game on that last drive.
They did. They put together a drive, 863, 232, got the touchdown pass. Dinwiddie 3 and out, and they came back and had another nice drive and able to get it done again there.
Well, a 5-yard pass to Dinwiddie this time, capping a 5-play, 56-yard drive. This could be wide open, and potential is there for the Warriors. They'll carry it back to the Robertson 30. As a nice return sets the stage for some type of response. 36 yards, bringing this back for the Brotherhood.
Oh, you want something positive to happen. I mean, you're down by a wide margin here. This is a great way to start it. Man, able to get a nice return there, set things up offensively in a good position.
.30-yard line. The southpaw QB delivers this too tall and incomplete. And second down is coming. Look, a little pound of the turf there. They wanted a whole lot more there, Tom. This defense still playing with some fire.
Yeah, that's Seabird we talked about, and his numbers coming in, 5'10", 220 junior, 52 tackles. And I had to confirm this, 27 tackles for loss and 11 quarterback sacks coming into this game.
Remarkable.
Off of that edge, and we've seen kind of in Terminal Tucker the other side, and then I tell you, Edgar Gonzalez up front's been good too for the nose guard position.
It's going to be handed off and working his way down to the 20 inside the First Bank red zone at the 16-yard line on this carry. That's Tolbert. Haven't called Jabari Tolbert's name a whole lot tonight, but he can be a difference maker, and runs like this show it, Tom, as he works them into the First Bank red zone.
Yeah, Coach Pruitt has said throughout the course of the week that he's gotten better and better and better, and finally got himself into a situation in the last couple of games he's gone over 100 yards. And he's going to be a good one. He's only a freshman.
First Bank red zone chance, 23 locations to serve you, Western North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina. And second down and 9 is coming now. Just the one touchdown toss tonight. Looking for another scoring opportunity here. This is going to be caught at the 8-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 2.
I tell you, Davis had a good target tonight and good size. And I think he's able to scoop this one right off the turf as we get one more look at it.
Jackson Davis
gathers
it in. Here's a 3rd and 2. End zone, incomplete in behind his intended target there. So 4th down and 2. And Tom, remember when they were in position to make it a 1-score game earlier, saw the drive come to a halt down here on such a 4th down. Really looking for a different result this time around the home team.
Yeah, the 4th down and 10 from the 14-yard line and had to turn it over. And what happened after that was the final drive before the intermission to widen it at 28-6 at that time.
And then getting the football in the second half, scoring, and adding another sense to build the lead to 42-6. Key play for Irwin here as they look for the second score of the night. This is going to be caught underneath and driven out right at the marker. Going to be real critical where they spot this because remember, this was a 4th down play. And the sticks went down with all the collisions over there. We'll have to see if this was enough to keep the drive alive.
I think he had it right there, then kind of gets knocked backwards. So I'm not sure. I mean, the initial good job, good athletic ability by one of the officials over that way.
It is ruled a 1st down for Irwin, so the Warriors have a 1st and goal scenario now. As they work from just inside the 5-yard line, there's a flag down, and that's caught in the corner. No signal yet over there. And they're going to spot this, it looked like, outside the end zone. I thought the only question might be there, Tom, whether he stepped out initially on this right about here. That would have been up at around the 2-yard line. They have the ball spotted, though, just shy of the goal line. Interesting. We'll see what they sort out here as our officials are gathered up to talk about it. Yeah, looking at that video evidence, and, you know, obviously the guys doing the real good and the real hard work tonight in those referee stripes don't get the benefit of another look at it. But that would have been the only place there, and it looked like he stayed in, and then you saw the foot go inside the pylon. But again, this is not professional or college football where they'll get a chance to take another look at it. It will be whatever they saw on that first glance and talked about once the crew gathered up. And here is that determination.
So where's the pylon cam when you need it, right? Oh, they did.
Well, you wondered if somebody else in the group, once they gathered up over there, said, this is in fact a touchdown.
Yeah.
The interesting part about that is there was no signal of the touchdown right away. But at the end, as they so often do, our officials get together and they get the call absolutely correct. And it is a touchdown for Irwin. Warriors have now put 12 up on the board. And they'll go for 2 to try to run their total to 14. Of course, the running clock having been put in effect by the deficit the Rams put on the Warriors a little bit earlier. So you see every second precious here, and that is going to work its way into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And it runs it to 42-14 inside the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Here's one more look at the touchdown toss, which incorporated the fancy footwork on the far side for Lunsford.
Well done.
Well, another touchdown drive for Irwin this time around as they end up getting it together and Now they'll be looking for one of those school bus stops of the game, Tom. It's critical for Irwin to get a stop or two here as we work our way forward in this one if they try to tighten the score just a bit, which now sits at 42-14. We'll have that, the biggest stop of the game, before the night is done. A reminder for you, when the stop arm is out and the lights are flashing, every state in America, it's important to stop for the safety of all involved. Clock winding all the way down. That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter of action. We will head to the fourth. It is 42-14, the advantage that the Robertson Rams have built. Bojangles is a proud sponsor of WLOS Friday Night Football. It's not just football season, it's tailgate season. Head to Bojangles and order the tailgate box today. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. It's bow time. Here we go. Fourth quarter of action underway, and here's one on the ground. That's going to pop back in the direction of the Warriors. Do they have it? They do. It is an onside kick and a possession stolen away by Coach Pruitt and the Warriors here. Nicely done in the kicking game there as they attempt to inch ever closer here, Tom.
Now, we saw earlier begin the third quarter play. It didn't happen, but it did there. We'll get one more look at it. Bounds away, diving, and able to come up with the football on that play.
Big time challenge because they're battling a running clock right now, but you can only do what's in your control, and what was in their control here on the onside handled beautifully as they stand over the football just inside Rams territory at the 49-yard line. Caden Engel going back to work. Junior QB going to hand this off, and there's a seam inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line as things beginning to really build momentum-wise for the Warriors.
Trying to get something positive here as we start the fourth quarter of play. Got down big, but continue to play hard.
And Robertson taking a timeout, not liking the look of those back-to-back plays. The kicking play on the onside kick recovery and the first down run that followed. He's calling his group over to talk about it. Gives us a chance to walk you through tonight's dirty jersey of the game. Our dirty jersey, as always, each of these weeks on Friday Night Rivals, handed out to the player who's been heavily involved in the action on this Friday night. Now we take a look at tonight's dirty jersey recipient. It's brought to you by Henson's Mulch and More, and you can imagine number 6 has been heavily in the mix. Karad Harris, the QB, our dirty jersey selection tonight.
Yeah, impressive, Jason. 5'8", 150, sophomore. Run of that spread offense. His ability to run the football. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes. You can see the numbers on the screen there as well, but I think he's made a really good decision. This was a great touchdown that he got there, and individually effort to get it into the end zone.
And you see his numbers, impressive night, over 200 yards thrown, multiple touchdowns on the ground. This one is incomplete as Engel was trying to find someone on a crosser down around the 15. And here comes the 2nd down and 10.
Had time to throw it that particular occasion, and just a little bit off the mark. And so a good defensive play right there. And Josiah James has had a good night tonight, a fumble recovery as well, but been in on a number of plays on the defensive side of the football as well.
Tried to find Jacoby that time, was unable to make the connection with him. And 2nd down is now coming from the 32. Warriors found themselves in a 21-0 hole early. A 28-6 hole at the half. And this one's going to be added on to with a flag that came in at the very end of things. Take a look at this. The official that was right on the scene there said, well, that was a part of trying to get him out of bounds. It looked differently to our back official, and he threw the flag there, Tom, for the hit out of bounds.
Maybe a couple strides across the sideline there and knocked him down, playing hard, but got the penalty. Got to have your head on a swivel if you're on the sideline there as well.
You got to watch yourself in moments like these. They're going to gather up and talk it over. And every time they gather up and talk it over, that's more time that Irwin doesn't have to work with that running clock. So while they may be the beneficiary of the penalty here, Tom, the scoring opportunities quickly passing them by. Here's another look at the play. As the QB tosses this aside. As you said, it'll be alert over there on all fronts. Hopefully all is well. Working our way inside the red zone. First Bank red zone chance at the 18. Well, that was Coach down there that ended up being taken out. Vinny Wickles, longtime coach at Asheville, and some time here before, and kind of a rude homecoming there momentarily for one of the guys who's among the great gentlemen here in Western North Carolina. Always great to see him. We don't necessarily want to see him end up in a collision like that on the sideline, but as you would expect from him, pops right back up. Been doing it for a lifetime, and he's good to go. It was great to see Coach tonight, and all those that are a part of the great history here in Western North Carolina. And it's going to be a rollout far side, looking for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown as the Warriors have put another one together. And that was tossed in the direction earlier by who else but Noah Hoodham. And guess what? He has the second of the touchdown receptions tonight that have gone his direction.
Well, I mean, it's been a tough night for Irwin all the way around, but you've got to give him a lot of credit for hanging in there and not letting it, put your head down and really run it up. And they've been able to fight back and get a couple of touchdowns here late in the game.
Foundation Solutions touchdown toss as Hoodham secures it here. And we got an injured TC Robertson Ram that is being tended to at the moment. The score being closed up to 42-20. And it looks as if all is well. Going to work his way to the far side. And now the extra point try coming here. Trying to take this to 42-21 as the Warriors have shown that fight. No quit in this group tonight. And as they begin to disperse in an effort to turn this into a two-point try, a penalty flag comes down. This is going to be offsides against the defense. Well, that's going to be the one area, Tom. Happens here on this play, happened on a couple of the other scenarios a little earlier in the half. Those penalties, that was the challenge. 5 penalties, 34 yards in the first half, the Rams' direction, and here are a few more here in the second. You know it will be a point of emphasis for the coaching staff. Same type scenario as everything distributes, and trying to go right in behind that pile for the two-point conversion. No signal yet, and they'll unfurl the pile and determine he is in there. The two-point conversion is good. 42-22 our score as the clock continues to roll. The Warriors capping another scoring drive and adding 2 on top.
This is the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Well, Tom, our school bus stop of the game put a halt on one of the early drives, and it resulted in a touchdown of its own right. 48 yards on the pick six for win, and this is one of the reasons they're trending toward a win tonight.
That came right after that, a touchdown to begin.
This is the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Well, another key moment in this one, and another onside kick try. This one going to be covered up by the Rams. So Robertson will have the football this time around, and with that running clock, things get a whole lot tougher with the inability to snatch the football back. But I'll say it again, Tom, you got to be impressed with the Irwin Warriors and the fight they've continued to show in this second half.
I got down 42-6, 7:12 to go in the third quarter play after two consecutive touchdowns. Had a touchdown right before intermission, had one on the opening possession, three, and I got another possession, had a big lead, but Irwin's come back to put two on the board here in the second half.
Had the touchdown drive, then the onside kick that led to the score. And now Simpson going to work here. You know, there's going to be much to clean up for the Robertson Rams if you listen to their head coach, who was talking about his standard tonight. Obviously, we mentioned the penalties, and certainly he would have liked a few things to be dealt with a little more crisply, but they came in here on the road and they've done exactly what needed to be done to put themselves in a position next week to play for the conference.
Yeah, you're 3-0 for Reynolds as well, so that's a big game coming up, and you needed to win this one to make it as big as it's going to be next week, and they've done it. Fifth consecutive game, they scored more than 40. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it. This is a team that's transitioned from a triple option to a spread offense this year, and we figured there'd be some growing pains and things like that. But
particularly with a young QB,
sophomore quarterback. But I tell you, we have been impressed with his performance tonight. But he also told us during the course of the week that one of the keys to the success of that was that offensive line up front.
Well, that offensive line making enough space for Harris to complete 8 of 17 passes for 204 yards. In addition to that, he has rushed for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns on just shy of 10 carries tonight. It's been an all-around solid night for the sophomore.
He's done a great job, and from a defensive standpoint, the ability, Simpson kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit tonight, but has been in the running back spot there, and the way they have run, the intricacies that they've run, and here comes another one.
Well, for Robertson, as weird, as strange a scenario as it becomes, these penalties don't hurt them that much in terms of the overall goal, because more and more time continues to roll off that game clock every time they back them up, and now closing in on just 4 minutes to play. But you know what he's thinking. He wants a clean, crisp finish to carry over into next week, and there's a lot that his team can build on positively and a lot they can work on as they move forward. But boy, he has to be impressed with the work of his QB. Harris, of course, guy who shares his name, lives in his home as well. Riddick Dinwiddie, trio of touchdowns tonight, the hat trick receiving among those touchdown tosses for Karad Harris. So many of the playmakers who have made their mark on this one for the Rams of Robertson. And leaving a little more of his mark is Harris. He's got plenty of space and will finally work his way out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And there's another effective run for Karad Harris to pad his stats on this memorable Friday night.
It was hard to get him down. Even inside, we've seen him with the cutting ability. And again, we've mentioned not all that big, at 150 pounds. He's going to get bigger, obviously. He's only a sophomore, but he makes a lot of really good decisions in the running game when he gets in the open field. You know, a good one there, being 150 pounds, he stepped out of bounds.
37 yards on that run before he took the fancy footwork out of bounds. Well, that's one time you can certainly do it in that scenario, because the clock's going to continue to roll for you either way based upon the good work they did earlier in the contest. Now under 3 minutes to go, and taking all the time that's necessary before working up to that line is Karad Harris and his teammates on a first down from outside the 21. given. Left side, another First Bank red zone chance. Let's go down field side for tonight's check presentation as they've worked into the red zone.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks, Jason. I'm standing here on the sideline with some of the beautiful cheerleaders here at Erwin High School. Ladies, on behalf of My 40 and Friday Night Rivals, thank y'all so much for hosting us here tonight. We now proudly present y'all a check for $500.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. It's been a joy to be here tonight. Have been thrilled to have you with us at Kerr Stadium and coming your way from the Gene McClure press box high above the turf in the land of the Irwin Warriors. It has been Robertson's contest tonight. They built a 21-0 lead early, and they're trying to put the finishing touches on what currently is a 42-22 affair. And Tom, you know, clock's going to wind on down and work its way on out here, and you're going to look back at that first half and the way Robertson set the tone as the difference in this football game. The 2 interceptions and the fumble after the turnover on downs, and really the game was won in so many ways right there.
Set it early, 5 plays, 64 yards, 219 to Harris, an 18-yard run, and the 41-yard interception by Wynn. All of a sudden, it's 14-0, and then you get a final one on a touchdown pass, 27. Remember that one came on 4th and 14 or something like that in a long situation to get that touchdown to go up 21-0.
Well, and you got to love the way they're handling the clock here at the end, leaving nothing to chance, utilizing as much time as possible before each play. As the ball carrier swallowed up here, gives us a chance to remind you we'll come your way from historic Serene Stadium in Greenville, South Carolina. Downtown Greenville will be our host site as TL Hanna, Radio's Jackets. They'll always be Radio's Jackets, right? Roll in to Greenville. TL Hanna versus Greenville. That's a 7:30 kick next week. We'll look forward to having you with us on Bojangles Friday Night Rivals.
A big 5A Region 1 game right now. Greenville's getting beat by Hillcrest 31-0, and Hanna is winning them. Those two teams were battling it out at the top of 5A Region
on a collision course for what might have been a region title bout. But you said it, some of that that's going on tonight across both state lines, making those moments memorable. They're going to take a delay of game penalty as the final seconds roll off the 4th quarter game clock. And TC Robertson, with that early work we discussed, putting it in the win column for the Rams. Conference title opportunity on the horizon for this group as they continue to climb it, right, Tom? The mantra is...
Yeah, climb the mountain.
Climb the mountain.
Yeah.
And they're one step closer to the top of the hill. Back to provide the Bojangles Trophy presentation when you come back to Lester in a moment. Well, they worked their way on by to another W. 42-22 is the final as they get the job done. Big night for Robertson, Tom.
Yeah, it was. I tell you, they have been scoring at will the last now 5 games, more than 40. You score 40, you're probably going to win. But, you know, good job by Irwin to get to 22 because as much as we talked about the Rams scoring all those points, their defense had given up only 26 points in the last 4 games as well. So 163-26, you're probably going to win a lot of ball games. And there are a lot of things that the coach we talked with, and he had Nelson at halftime that he's going to want to clean up a little bit, but he's got to feel good about how his team came out, got that stop, as you mentioned. That was key. Irwin got the toss and took the ball down, and they were driving, stopping, and put together a really impressive play, then the touchdown, and all of a sudden it was 14-0 before you knew it.
Yeah, what you're talking about, the turnover on downs, they scored. It was followed by an interception return for a touchdown. After the pick six, another interception on the following drive. And then after the fumble, all led to a 21-0 advantage after the first quarter, built it into a 28-6 advantage at the half, and it all adds up to a 42-22 victory for his team. And what you want if you're Robertson, a conference championship opportunity in front of you next week. That's what's there for young Mr. Harris and company, and he and the coaching staff all standing by. Let's send it down. Coach Dinwiddie is with Nelson.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Jason. This is the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Carolina Furniture Contest. But, Coach, I got to tell you, congratulations on a phenomenal second half as well. What were your thoughts on the game, Coach?
Well, I thought we played really hard. We started fast. We talked about starting fast, and we started fast. We made some mistakes. We got a little frustrated there, but I was happy the way we finished. Our kids play hard. They play hard every week. We played physical. We played tough. We played fast and aggressive, which is what we asked them to do, and I'm very proud of them.
Speaking of that word happy, are y'all happy here tonight? Now, Coach, let's show it. Now, Coach, yeah, one last person, Coach. There you go. Now, Coach.
And they'll be taking it back home with another opportunity in front of them next week. 386 yards of total offense, 204 of it through the air, 182 of it on the ground. The catalyst for so much of it, the young Karad Harris, the sophomore QB, and he and his teammates with much work in front of them in 2025. Tom, your final thoughts on a big night for the Rams of Robertson on the road.
Came out, got it done. Challenged early with that tremendous non-conference schedule. Same thing for Irwin to a certain extent. We talked about the inability to finish off some of the ball games, but for this Rams team, I mean, they're poised, I think, and particularly from an offensive standpoint, they're good defensively to maybe make a run, and that's a big game coming up next week against Reynolds.
We will see you from historic Serene Stadium in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville hosting Radios. TL Hanna Yellow Jackets will have it for you as our final FNR regular season broadcast of the year. One more time from here in Leicester, 42-22. The Robertson Rams come out on top.
This is the big time.